Hello, and welcome back to yet another board game channel, and yet another turn in our playthrough of Eldritch Horror as we try to prevent Syzygy from occurring. This will be turn 7, which puts us pretty much near the midpoint Mythos card-wise, so we really need to get going because we've just solved the one mystery and haven't made a dent in the second one yet. I think it means we may have to take some risks, but I'm not good at risks, usually. Well, we'll see what happens. Before we get into it, a slight mistake from, well, remember way back in turn 3 when Joe Diamond picked up a courier run, and he had to go there to have an encounter and then turn this over to see what good thing we get. Somehow when I was choosing the clue, that's a random clue that corresponds to a city space. Somehow the word city didn't stick in my mind. So the Amazon, that ain't a city. So thank you to username Lorinor on Board Game Geek for pointing that out. I was probably never going to notice that otherwise, so thank you. So we'll discard that one and pick more until we finally get a city. Oh, which we got right away. Number 7. Right there. So I think I know where Joe's going this turn. So we'll put that on his courier run card. That is fixed. Now, let's get to our investigator's action phase. And this turn we'll be starting with Schizo Tool. Alright, here's Skids over in Sydney, Australia. Thinking I'm going to be sending him over here to try to do this research encounter and get our get an Eldritch token to spawn in the nearest wilderness space so that he can then go and deal with that and move forward our mystery. In case I've forgotten, what we need to do is when when successfully resolving a research encounter, spend a clue gained during that encounter to place an Eldritch token on the nearest wilderness space. We can then go to that one, attempt to stop the ritual, ambushed by a cultist, and if we defeat it, we get to put that Eldritch token on this card. And we need to do that 4 times. So first thing Skids is going to do is move across the sea to space 18, which he will then extend his movement with the ship token he picked up, moving him to 15, down in South Africa. Now, for his second action, we are going to try, our chances are meh on this, but we're going to have him try to decipher the cryptic text again. Because if you'll recall from when we flipped it over the first time, if we're successful, he can spend his spell, his fleshboard spell, to close the gate. And we might as well because gates are bad. So that means we will be testing his lore of 2. Hey, you got a 6. Yay. Alright, we flip it over. There's the mysterious message from Lewis Carroll. And we can resolve. You may discard 1 spell to discard 1 gate of your choice on any space, then discard this card. So he'll be losing the Fleshboard spell and that, and getting rid of our only gate, San Francisco is now clear, although there's still a cultist there. Yeah. So that actually went the way I wanted it to. Alright, next we'll be going over to the lovely Mandy Thompson. Alright, Mandy in Shanghai. Well, the first thing we have to do is move her over to the clue on space 17, again in an effort to get this mystery going. For her second action, I kind of hate to use up the time resting, but she's in dire straits. She's at 2 health and 1 sanity. She really needs to heal, otherwise she is going to drop very soon. And she's got an amnesia condition to take care of. So, I'm going to put her back up to 3 health, 2 sanity, and then we will grab the amnesia card. When you perform a rest action, focus. It doesn't want to focus at this resolution. Oh wait, there. Anyway, you've all seen these. Roll a die on a 5 or 6. We get rid of it. So we need a single success on a single die. Nope. She still potentially has amnesia. Alright, on to Norman Withers up in London. Alright, Norman is going to do almost exactly the same thing Mandy did, just in a different location. We're going to have him move up to this clue, try to use that to generate another Eldritch token, and have him rest. Oh, although we could, he's not quite as bad. He's got 2 sanity. Maybe, yeah, let's give this a go. Let's do, it's not going to focus. There we are, feed the mind. See if he can raise some of his stats. So we'll be testing his lore -1. His lore is 4, so we'll be rolling with 3 plus 2 for resolving the spell effect, thanks to the Opus Arcana. So, gonna get to roll 5 dice and get 3. Count them, 3 successes. Don't know how well that's focusing. But yes, you got 3 5s. So I think going to boost his will, given that his sanity is down to 2. Just to make it easier for him to handle horror checks. And then we will flip this over and see that with 2 or more successes, your previous training suddenly becomes clear to you. No additional effect. Flip the card. Alright, well, that's good. And finally, for our actions, we'll be winging over to Joe Diamond. Alright, here's Joe. I'm not going to worry about the cultist right now. There's no gate there anymore, so let the cultist do what he will, wandering around San Francisco, scaring people in his silly robe. So for his first action, Joe is going to move down to space 7, where his courier run destination is. Not to mention a nice little encounter that could give us something good. Fingers crossed. Now, he is on a city space, so tell you what, let's do, yeah, let's have him do an acquire asset, because assets are good. I should probably be trying to get these more, but 2 of our guys only have 1 influence, and Mandy, who does now have 4 influence, is just too busy doing other stuff. So, we have a single 5. Oh no, we have 2 5s, 2 2s. So we can pick up 2 things. Oh, we can pick up something worth 2. Here's a thought. You could pick up the Consecration, get a boon condition right away. You could also do Security Squad. Well, Security Squad will let him use his influence instead of a strength test. His influence is 1 more. What to do. They're both pretty good. Well, yeah, given how high his influence is, he has, yeah, one of the highest influences. So yeah, he'll have his security squad following him around to encourage people, or monsters, to just back off a little, so he doesn't actually have to fight them. And we will be replacing that with the puzzle box. Oh gosh, there we go. Trinket. When you perform a rest action, you may attempt to open the puzzle box. Observation -2. If you pass, you may discard this card to gain 1 artifact. Artifacts are nice. Alright, that's it for the actions. Now we will be going right into the encounter phase. Alright, Skids didn't quite make it to the heart of Africa to do that investigation, so instead he'll be doing doing a generic city encounter. What do we get? You see a street magician use real magic in his act. Gain 1 glamour spell. Okay. Glamours are nice because they're usually passive and they just sort of are an ongoing effect that you don't have to worry about. And you get enchant weapon. Monsters you encounter lose physical resistance. We haven't run into any. You may re-roll up to 2 dice when resolving a strength test during a combat encounter. Okay, that's not bad. On a reckoning, test lore and flip the card. Hopefully nothing too horrible comes of that. Alright, back to our city encounter. During his show, he locks you in a safe. Will -1. Fortunately, his will is 4. And I must remember his re-roll 1's ability. Make sure he doesn't have anything else. Alter the roll. Nope. Well, it's got a couple of 1s, but it doesn't matter if I re-roll them because he had a success anyway. If you pass, you stay calm and emerge to thunderous applause. Meh. A trifle. Recover 2 sanity. Okay, that's good. That puts him back up to 5. Way to keep things together, Skids. Alright, he's done there. Now let's see what Mandy can do about acquiring a clue. Okay. Mandy in India, that is a city space. So, research encounter, city. A local collection is rumored to have an item you seek. Test influence. Okay, good. Her influence is 4. Come on, Mandy. Just need 1 success. Oh, crap. Nope. God damn it. This one we really needed her to do it, and she has. I probably should have taken the focus instead of resting. Oh well. If you pass, yeah, not going to happen. If you fail, he feels threatened by your interest in his property and summons the authorities. Gain a detained condition. This is very, very not good. Let's see. Detained. Restriction. You cannot move or perform actions other than the action on this card. Well, I don't really want her to move. I want her to stay there and do the clue. Instead of resolving an encounter, flip this card. Although, as an action, we can test her influence and try to get rid of this so that you can then have a proper encounter and maybe get it right next time. All right, let's see if Norman has any more luck. All right, Norman up on space 13, which is a C space. Just grab one of these. And, whoa, okay. I may be zoomed in too far to be able to focus on this. Oh, come on, you can do it. No, you can't. Hold on. Let me refocus. All right, there we go. As you lift the ancient astrolabe from its pedestal, the island begins to sink. That ain't good. Observation -1. His observation is 3. Making sure he doesn't have anything that alters that. Doesn't look like it. And yes, rolled a 6. If you pass, you disable the mechanism, gain this clue, and 1 relic unique asset. Nice. So, he gains that clue, which he is immediately going to spend in order to place this Eldritch token on the nearest wilderness space. Let's see if we can figure out what that's going to be. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the west coast of Africa is only 3 spaces away. There's another one 3 spaces away, but that's a little more central and people can get to it more easily. Right, and what was it again? Right, a relic unique asset. Just see if we can find, oh, right away. Bottom of the deck, a stone chest. When performing a rest action, you may attempt to pry open the chest using strength. And his strength is 3, because we managed to pump it up some. Alright, that leaves us with Joe Diamond. Okay, there's Joe on space 7. We're going to do the Ruins encounter. Probably need that. Right, Chichen Itza. You patiently spend the evening in the ancient observatory El Caracol. Sorry, I'm probably mangling the hell out of that. From here, you search the night sky as stars and planets pass overhead. Observation -1. Okay, his observation is 4, so I'll be rolling 3 dice. Yes, a single success, but that's all we need. The light from Venus reveals a hidden panel. Gain 1 relic unique asset. Another one of those. Okay. So he manages to find a canopic jar for some reason in Central America. This is a strange, strange world. When you perform a rest action, the spirits of the dead whisper to you. Test will -1. If you pass, flip the card. Alright, another potentially good thing. If we're really lucky, some of these relics, when we flip them over, will advance our mystery, like the one I think it was Mandy got. So, fingers crossed. Right. That was only the first thing that happened. Behind the object is a heavy stone dial. Strength test -1. It's just going to be 2 dice. Nothing to modify. No. If you pass, I would have been able to move the omen counterclockwise. Oh well. If you fail, gain a back injury. Awesome. Okay. A quick look. Head, internal, back injury. Another one of those that you can get rid of on a rest by rolling 5 or 6 on a die. And we get to test strength. Or we have to test strength on a reckoning. And flip if we fail. Alright. Means the next ruins encounter is actually still there. The next card stays on space 7. However, now we will just discard space 7 clue, because we are going to flip the courier run. Please be good. You arrive at the mansion in the late afternoon, and the butler sees you inside. Before long, you meet with the lady of the prestigious Fairmont family. The butler takes the parcel from you and presents it to Mrs. Fairmont for approval. She thanks you for your time and rewards you handsomely for the effort. Gain a funding condition and 1 asset of your choice from the reserve. Then discard this card. Okay, give me a minute to find one of those and maybe decide what we're going to take from the reserve. Alright, found a funding condition. Haven't actually encountered one of these before. You may discard this card in place of gaining a debt condition or to discard a debt condition. And during a reckoning, if you're on a city space, you may flip the card. Oh, one would hope that would be something good. Well, okay. And what we're going to do, we're actually going to take that puzzle box, because Joe is tied with Mandy for highest observation, and it is an observation test. So when resting, we could get another artifact, which would be nice. So we'll add that. So that ends, yeah, that ends Joe's encounters. The encounters were, well, except for Mandy, fairly successful. Well, let's see how it all comes back to bite us in the behind during the Mythos phase. But first, I have to replace the puzzle box with a Vatican missionary. Gain +1 will. You may reroll 1 die when resolving a will test. And he costs 2 influence points to acquire. Alright, dreaded Mythos phase time. Alright, here we go. It's a green one. That means no reckoning anyway. Of course, we will move the omen track. That will move on to the blue space. We have no gates at all at the moment, which is normally great. We just can't seem to get ahead of the actual mysteries. And a monster surge, which, yeah, unfortunately means we do actually have to spawn a gate now. Yes, because we had no gates for the monsters to surge through, so instead get a gate spawn in Tunguska. Oh, look, right where the expedition token is. might not be getting to do that. Alright. Monster time. Nope. Just one. Why are these... There we go. Got a Cho-Cho. I'm not sure what those are. They look like small red-eyed men. If you defeat this monster during a combat encounter, gain one random item asset from the deck. Okay, and not super hard. Maybe we will be setting somebody up to Tunguska eventually. Depends on how the clues spawn. Speaking of which, it's clue spawning time. So we're going to get another 2 clues. Okay, got a couple here. First one is in Arkham, which is fairly close to Joe. Ooh, Joe could get there next turn. Alright, yes, we want these to spawn near our investigators so badly. And Space 2, which is off the coast of San Francisco. Oh well. I guess that'll do. I would have liked the second one to be near another investigator rather than the same one, but alright. Event time. Your experiences have made you more gullible rather than wiser. Oh, that's not a good sign. The terrible responsibilities you have taken upon yourself have made you more vulnerable rather than stronger. Led astray. Each investigator with at least 1 task asset loses 3 sanity and discards 1 task asset. Oh dear, we just lost Mandy. Alright, one at a time. Skid does not have a task. Mandy has 2 tasks and 2 sanity. So she goes just crazy. Alright, let's stop for a moment so I can reposition and deal with this. Alright, first thing of course we have to do is advance the Doom. Because bad things. Next. Mandy is down. Okay, she's on a city space, so she doesn't need to move to the nearest city space to find a nice cozy asylum. We get rid of her detained and amnesia conditions. And we will put her card aside with her possessions on it, which don't amount to much. Her magnifying glass. And a couple of tasks, which I believe do count for as items, basically, because I checked the rules, and tasks are tradable, so I would assume that it means that they can be dropped and picked up. Now, because of the Mythos card, we do have to get rid of one of them. Let's get rid of the one with the spells and just go with the one that lets you do stuff during, as a result of research encounters, because we're definitely going to want to do those, and we don't necessarily end up with a spellcaster picking up her stuff. I don't need to pass the lead investigator token along because she was not the lead investigator. And yeah, that's it. Let's continue resolving the event on this horrible Mythos card. Actually, nothing else happens because of the Mythos card, because nobody else has a task. Joe, if he hadn't done that courier run this turn, he would have gone down too, because he's only down to 2 sanity as well. He would have gone the same route as poor Mandy. So yeah, that resolves the Mythos card. We're at the end, which means we now have to pick a replacement for Mandy. He's going to get rid of all her tokens, which don't do us any good anymore. Alright, let's choose a new investigator, which I checked. We are supposed to do at the end of the Mythos phase that she dies in. Alright, so we're going to grab from the back Michael McGlenn. We got our gangster. Monsters are going down. We got Mike. Alright, I'm just going to grab his stuff and put him in position. Alright, Michael McGlenn has joined the battle. He starts over in London. Let's just check his backstory. When the O'Banion gang needs to send a message, they send the big man, Michael McGlenn. Not long ago, his friend, Fast Louis Farrell, was attacked by a bunch of inhuman things with ugly, fish-like faces. They sliced him up and dragged him under the water. McGlenn took it personally. The word is spread. McGlenn has loaded up his Thompson, and everyone else had better get out of his way. His first stop is London, where he intends to find out what these creatures are called and where he has to go to kill every last one of them. So, here he is. A quick gander at his stats. His special abilities as an action. If he's on a city space, he may gain one item or service asset of your choice from the reserve, and if you do, gain a wanted condition. And it's passive. Once per round, you may re-roll one die when resolving a deal or pursuit condition effect. Okay. And his quote, "Don't care if it's a god. If it crosses me, it's going to regret it." Alright, and he starts with the Tommy gun, which is a wonderful thing for fighting monsters, as it gives you a +4 strength during combat encounters. We have our Monster Slayer on our team, so he will be trying to help us fight back Syzygy. Well, that wasn't a good ending, was it? Things went rather poorly there. Well, so be it. Yeah, that'll wrap up this turn. We'll see you next time. Thank you all very kindly for likes and watches and subscriptions. I'm up to 40 subscribers, which happened quicker than I anticipated, so thank you all. Also thanks for pointing out those little errors that I keep making. It's a complex game. There's a lot to forget. So, hope you join me next time when we play yet another turn of Eldritch Horror, holding back Syzygy. See you then.